And welcome back to Views and Vibes. I'm sitting here with some very funny comedians talking about what it takes to become and continue to be a comedian.
Have a kamikaze spirit.
You have to be. And speaking about that specifically, you know, why do it? You know, it's so hard to make people laugh. You know, it's so much easier to do a drama and make people cry or make people angry at you. But why do comedy?
Because it's a drug.
It's a gift too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be talented.
Drug.
It's a drug, but it's a gift first, and then it becomes a drug.
It's a gift. It's a gift. There's a whole
Once
lot
you
of
express the gift and you get the laughs, and then that's when the
gifts. It's a
addiction
drug.
comes.
When you get in front of 4,000 people,
like-
Yeah.
and you're sitting up there and you hit a big punchline and you hear that roar of laughter, every molecule in your body gets high.
But Vic, take it back to the writing stages before you get the laughter. That's the gifted part right
Well,
there.
yeah, I mean, you have to have a gift, yeah. But I'm saying, well, why do you put yourself up there for? Because you definitely get more rejection.
Finally gives you that final level of acknowledgement that what you wrote down, what you worked on, what you practiced actually is funny or maybe awful. I mean,
Take us there for us. You know, when you're sitting there on stage, how do you connect with your audience? Because you're going to have a different audience. You're not going to go to the same clubs every night. You know, sometimes you'll have a much more hostile audience, or you may have a black audience, or a white audience, or Latin, whatever.
Yeah.
When you get on stage, how do you actually connect with your audience and bring that laughter out of them?
You have to kind of, it's like fitting into a group, like if you're new at summer camp or something like that, and most comedians were awkward kids. They didn't fit in very well, so they had to find a way to fit in, and humor was the way to do it.
That's why
so
I'm
they
not
became,
funny. I fit in.
No,
because you
sell yourself, your image, and that to the audience, so then you can bring them into what makes you funny.
Right.
You know, each one of us are individuals, so we have different backgrounds and experiences.
So talk about that. You know, you run across other comedians all the time. You know, as a black female, you know, what's your experience like being a comedian?
angry.
No, I'm actually not angry.
Black women are angry.
They say black women
Hateful.
are angry.
If you want to hear more about this, more from me like this, watch POV. Because it's the entire time in POV.
No,
I'm
not
kidding. I'm
angry.
kidding. I love black women.
I know,
My mama's
and
black.
I love black men. You know, but I bring to the stage the fact that I am a mother, a wife. I have kids. I
married?
work. Yeah, I've been married
Really?
for 16 years.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
I bring
You don't
that.
talk about him either. I believe
Well,
that.
because my boyfriend would get mad, so that's
Oh.
But anyway, so those are the things that I'm bringing to the stage, but I'm not a woman's comic, I'm an everybody's. I cuss out kids too.
Right.
So it
Wow.
doesn't matter.
It's like
You
a
know?
teacher.
Yeah,
All the
right,
high school
right,
students
right.
in here, just so you know.
They've experienced that. They have teachers. They know how it goes. How about you, Kyle? You know, from your perspective as being actually a white male, you know, what's your...
Oh, I feel entitled to
Being
laughter.
a ruler, well, since I rule the world and have been, it seems like
They're
my
gonna
tongue's
laugh anyway,
slipping
right?
lately, and
No,
I
I
just
think
got a bad problem with that.
I mean, because you are in a, like right now you're in a predominantly black area, you know, and
Right.
so I know your experiences here are going to be different than if you go elsewhere. You know,
I mean, I'd say if it's funny, it's funny. It's going to be funny for a white crowd or a black crowd if they're into it. There's certain shows where they're just not feeling you at
Right.
all. But I just try to, I guess, just let my personality be who I am on stage, and there's a certain vulnerability to that. I
so how do
think
you-
that
how do you get
people
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I guess, can relate to.
So how do you get them to actually, you know, start to laugh? How do you bring? I mean, because you know,
You have to-
it's easy to. It's
Talk
easy.
about their mama,
When you go,
then they'll be
when you go on stage,
How do you
the
bring them
thing that I
into
have to
your
do,
world?
because I have this kind of persona when I go on stage, people are going to expect, I used to get this a lot, you know, pretty MF, you know, all this stuff. And I
still
was
say
like,
that
you know,
about
it's like, you know, he can't be funny or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You get that, and you have to go on stage, and you kind of have to just ease into it and crack some jokes, just like if you were in someone else, just throw something out there, or make fun of the stage, make fun of the club, make fun of somebody, their staff or something. Don't really kind of just make it like the audience is against, you're with the audience and y'all against something,
Yeah,
because
if you
human
keep it-
beings
It makes a good
strong.
point too, because it's always a stereotype that good-looking people aren't funny. They want you to look strange, but now I think we're in a day and time where it's more acceptable to be.
But you're not ugly.
no,
I've
but I'm
seen
just
ugly
saying.
people do comedy, and there are a lot of unfunny. I mean,
No,
I mean
but
seriously.
you know what I'm
This is
saying.
but there's
It
a
is-
stigma that
it is a stigma.
I'm not pretty. First of all, that's a feminine.
I said good-looking. I didn't
okay,
say
all right.
pretty.
But I just
you
want to say
back in the day, you had like the Moms Mableys, you know, you had the Pygmy Markhams, you know,
Yeah,
not pretty
Red
people at all.
Fox.
Especially for
Right.
a female, like they want to expect something else. So when
Right.
you hit the stage, you automatically have to break that.
I mean, most
Phyllis
people,
Diller.
most of the funny people, Chris Rock ain't considered to be, you know, like, oh, he's gorgeous. You know,
Not until later on when he put all that makeup on.
Yeah.
not until he got his teeth
Him and
straight
Eddie
and all that
Murphy.
stuff.
Him and Eddie Murphy. After they
the teeth
put all that
straight,
makeup on.
Dave Chappelle. I
Right.
mean, they're all unusual. I won't call them ugly, but just unusual looking. Probably something that they would naturally be. You know, oh, we consider him someone that would be considered to be handsome. It is a stigma. It's like a reverse discrimination thing. If you go on there and you don't look like
sound upset about that.
you have a cut from your chin. Say what?
So you sound very upset about that.
I've had to deal with this
Yeah,
my
it's
entire
hard.
comedy career.
Wow,
I've had to
okay.
prove myself
so
no
have
matter
I.
what. Even if
Yes,
people
that's
see me
right.
destroy a room, I've had to go up the next night.
And do
It's
the
a
same.
new crowd, and they
And
go,
do the same
"Well,
thing.
she just pretty much," you know, so it's just like that. I have to go up there and prove myself
I have
every
promoters
time.
that look at me and say, "Are you funny?"
Wow.
Because they're just looking at the outside package. They, you know, so it's
Kyle
definitely-
has the same problem too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sort of a Gaelic Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying?
I know. So.
I'm ready to make you laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, guys, we actually have to go to break. Before we go to break, we're going to run a clip of Point of View with Vic Christian.
Mortgages and all this other stuff. They call them derivatives. So I'm trying to say, I mean, if they can't control their own wealth, what chance do I have? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying if they can't control, we're talking about the major banks, not even just this country, in the world. We're going broke. Bahrain, the Arabs are going broke. They're like, oh my God, I cannot believe you spent this much money. You know, this
But it's funny when we say broke because
Yeah.
their broke is different than our
Right.
broke.
Right.
So
Right. They're not
talk-
well, what is broke?
Okay, the American
I mean-
dollar is only worth something in like Mexico. If you go to Europe,
No,
you
that's not true. Like I
hold on,
just-
I lived in Europe. Hold on 1 second. So if you have the American dollar and you put it up against the euro,
The euro isn't worth anything. They just collapsed because of the fact they had $1 trillion bailout. The euro isn't even worth what the American dollar is. The Chinese are selling them, trying to get out of them
right?
right
But this
now.
is what I'm saying though. But the way, get back to my point, thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is your show.